So welcome back to the FC25 rebuild, where we've got the FIFA Club World Cup final in today's episode. In the last episode, we signed Xavi Simons as the De Bruyne replacement because Florian Wirtz, as you can see, wasn't feasible with the transfer fee Leverkusen were looking for. And the same went for Ryan Sanket, who looked fantastic statistically. But I mean, over 100 million euros it would have cost to bring him, maybe 130 million euros. Wirtz was talking above 180 million euros. That was just crazy money for those two players. And the sort of money we couldn't afford to spend, even though we had a budget of 120 million euros, when we're looking at so many of the players in the positions depending on departures, because there could be a lot of departures in this City side. I mean, Sanket statistically looked fantastic as well. But I suppose we have to say why we chose on Xavi Simons ahead of Wirtz and Sanket, and not purely on price. I mean, Sanket there physically, mentally, his stats are absolutely insane. But getting a player out of the Basque Country and bringing them away from it is very, very difficult. And despite him being a statistical amazing player there, and maybe more suited to what we're looking for, we chose Xavi Simons because, one, I think he's got the potential to be an amazing player. I mean, look at those play styles. Technical, tiki-taka, trivela, first touch, flair, so many. Ball control is amazing. Dribbling is amazing. Shot power and long shots are pretty good as well. Curve is good. And his long pass and short pass aren't amazing, but I think that is something we want to work on, that his short passing improves as a player. If we can do that, then we can turn him into a real superstar. I mean, his finishing is pretty decent as well. He's obviously not the same level as Sanket, but technically, I think he's very, very gifted. Physically, he's not the quickest maybe, but he's quick enough. I mean, 93 agility, good stamina, and vision 88. That is where we see the creative side to his game really coming into it. You can see in the transfer market, Celta Vigo have signed Orban from Leipzig for 29 million euros. That's a big signing for a club like them. Spurs couldn't keep hold of Matthias Tell. He has actually returned to Bayern from his loan and then made a 41 million euro permanent move to Inter. Inter have won the race for him. That's an interesting one. Big Ange couldn't convince him to stay, but I don't think Spurs will be bothered, because I'm pretty sure in the previous episode we saw that Spurs had signed Victor Gyökeres, hadn't they, as their new striker. I mean, Gyökeres in that Spurs front line with Son, Brennan Johnson, whoever else they might have up there, Odo Bear, they will be very, very dangerous. So Tell joins Inter. I assume he'll form a very good partnership with Lautaro Martinez. That's big money for Inter to be spending as well. 41 million euros. It's a little bit unlike them, really, to spend that sort of money. Dortmund want Kidekes as well as Bayern. They're apparently in transfer negotiations already for that one. And you see Diakate there. He's moved to Wolfsburg from Lille in a 31 million euro deal. That's a big money move as well for Wolfsburg to make. Everton have signed a player from Las Palmas for 6 million euros. Teams tend to make little smaller signings in this realistic one. Look, this is a strange one. Nottingham Forest have agreed a deal to sign Sadio Mane. The 33-year-old joins for 31 million euros. Returning from Saudi back to the Premier League. Valencia want Darwin Nunez. They got 14 assists last season. Clearly a better creator than goal scorer. And Reece James moves to Newcastle, 53 million euros. How about that for your replacement, Kieran Trippier? If they can get him fit, Newcastle, I think he's going to be an amazing signing for that Newcastle side and where they want to be. Transfers for us as well. Anyway, Issa Kabore, he makes an 8 million euro move to Leicester City. We finally move him on, hopefully make a bit of a profit on him. He signs a 4-year deal with the Premier League side, where he's going to play right back for them. I don't see them staying in the Premier League this season. However, I could be wrong. And now it's time to get into the FIFA Club World Cup, with signings happening like Burnley signed Ortega as well at back. So it is FIFA Club World Cup final time. We thought maybe Athletic Nacional would cause an upset, got all the way to the final. They don't. They're beaten heavily 4-0 by Carlo Ancelotti's Real Madrid. So the side for the FIFA World Cup final will be Manchester City. The game will be Manchester City versus Real Madrid, the two biggest sides in the Champions League when they face off against each other. A massive game, and they are the side that proved this season how much, or last season, what you would call this is sort of like the interlude between season 1 and season 2. They proved how good they were. They proved how far ahead of Manchester City they were with that 3-1 win at the Santiago Bernabeu, and it really did. That is what kick-started this series. That's what kick-started the point of this series, where then we went to face Liverpool and so on after that, the disappointment of that. Now, the side is the same. I mean, we've got players back from injury. No Rodri, he's not going to be able to play this game. He's still suffering from a knock, so he's not going to be able to play this one. But we have got players back, and hopefully back and ready to play a big part in this game. And this game is going to be a bit nostalgic for Manchester City as well, because there's quite a few players who probably in that City side who we know it's going to be their final appearance for the club. Some that were uncertain would be their final appearance for the club, but a lot, I think, this is it for them against Real Madrid today. They will not be playing again after this. And Pep Guardiola, does he go down the nostalgic route, pick players that are not going to play again for us, hope they can put one last showing on, or does he go for players that are going to be the future of the club? Does Grealish start, who might leave instead of Savinho? Grealish has played so well in the last 2 games. Kevin De Bruyne, surely the captain's got to be in there, considering it is probably, and it is, his last game for the club. There's lots to think about. But the first thing we should be thinking about is winning this Club World Cup. Against Real Madrid, however, I have to say I'm not entirely confident. They are a fantastic side. I don't know how defence handles their attack. This is going to be a big game, and hopefully it's not an embarrassment for Manchester City in the final. We want to come away with a win. Hopefully, with what we've got, we can do that. So to start with for the FIFA Club World Cup final, Ederson will start in goal for Manchester City. A back four, a very strong looking back four, one similar, and I think nearly the same as what we saw against Real Madrid at the Etihad in the Champions League, which did really well in those opening 45 minutes until Akanji's injury, and then Rico Lewis had to come on. So it's Akanji, Stones, Diaz and Joško Gvardiol across a strong back four. Mateo Kovacic and Ilkay Gundogan partner in the midfield too. Hopefully that's a midfield that can deal with this Real Madrid midfield. It's Bernardo Silva, a conservative approach from Pep Guardiola on the right, Jack Grealish on the left, and then Kevin De Bruyne supporting Erling Haaland up top. De Bruyne captain the side to hopefully lift this FIFA Club World Cup. We're looking for more control in the game with Bernardo and Grealish in the wide areas. It is very similar to the side that we saw at the Etihad against Real Madrid. On the bench, we've got Omar Mamouche, we've got Savinho, Doku and Foden. 4 real game breakers, 4 real changes of this game have been coming along that front 4. Nico and Nunez are coming midfield or fullback areas, and Nathan Ake as well, should we have to change that defence. But hopefully this City side can do the business and win this FIFA Club World Cup, a prestigious competition I do believe, and it will be one that we really want to win this season. Well, here we go. It is the FIFA Club World Cup final, live here in the USA at, I think it is the national team ground in LA. Outcome of 2 sides, Real Madrid and Manchester City, with the intention of lifting the FIFA Club World Cup. Real Madrid, they have beaten Athletic Nacional, PSG and Juventus on the way. We have beaten Al Ittihad, Bayern Munich and Inter on the way to get to this final. 3rd place playoff is going on between Athletic Nacional and others as well. Players to look out for, 2 in the previous game against Athletic Nacional in the semi-final is Rodrigo, who are expecting to start on that right-hand side. This Real Madrid side is scary. Bellingham, Rodrigo, Mbappe, Vinicius. I mean, they've got way more firepower than this Manchester City team, you would say, in those forward areas. This is going to be a really, really tough task for us, and one that if we pass, we have to say big credit to these players that have been questioned throughout the season, throughout last season, that they're not Manchester City quality anymore, but they're here to do the business today. We're in the special kit. I think Real Madrid are in a special kit as well, promoting that in the United States. That is the intention of doing that anyway. Plenty of Madrid fans here, plenty of City fans. Of course, in the US, I assume there'll be mainly the US fans. It looks like Danny Carvajal is back from his injury. Militao and Rudiger at the back, Phil and Mendy there as well. Endrick, Luka Modric, Camavinga, Alaba on the bench. Rodrigo, Mbappe, Vinicius Junior is the front 3. Bellingham, Tchouaméni and Valverde. A very, very good midfield 3. Club World Cup Final 2025. This expanded tournament comes to an end today with Manchester City against Real Madrid. Biggest side in Spain at the moment, maybe, alongside Barcelona. Barcelona were in this competition due to their previous failings. Bernardo, Gundogan, De Bruyne, onto Grealish here. Back in behind to De Bruyne, trying to take it away from Militao, which he does do. De Bruyne hits it across the box here, dealt with just before he could find Erling Haaland in the middle. Valverde across to it, pressing by Jack Grealish. They played City off the park at the Bernabeu. I don't think they did at the Etihad. City just made their usual mistakes. Crumbled really in the latter stages. Rodrigo swings into Mbappe. Vinicius to the far post. There is Manu Akanji defending it really well ahead of Vinicius. He's behind for a corner. Crossed in by Real Madrid. Tchouaméni is there, headed away. Lost Mbappe at the far post here. Mbappe hits one. And it's blocked away and Stones gets it away. And Grealish on towards Kovacic, who tries to take a touch away from Rudiger, who makes a fantastic slide challenge. Valverde. It's Bellingham and easily around the corner towards Vinicius, who's going to run at us here. Look at the pace of Vinicius Junior. Akanji trying to stay with him. Nice pass to Akanji into Mbappe. And Mbappe against Stones here and killing Mbappe. Went for the shot, dragged it wide. Was that a cross to Rodrigo at the far post? I'm not quite sure. Kovacic. De Bruyne. Oh, it's poor by De Bruyne. He gives it away there. Valverde picks it up. Guardiola tried to win it quick. The ball behind Diaz to Rodrigo. And City are in big trouble here. Diaz won't catch Rodrigo, will he? Diaz might do. Good defending by Diaz. Got across there. He made the block. Behind for a corner. Back out to Vardiel. It's nicely done by City. Grealish here. Gundogan making that into that wide area. Vardiel. Gundogan's drifted wide. Gundogan in. Haaland with a spectacular scorpion kick. It was behind him. Couldn't take a touch because of that. Kanji tries to stay with him. Past the edge of the box here towards Rodrigo. He's standing off him. Rodrigo! Wide the post there from Rodrigo. He's drifted inside. Stones there. Completely stands off Rodrigo. De Bruyne. De Bruyne threads one through here to Haaland. It's great pass. Haaland is through here. Against Militao. Haaland straight down the middle at Courtois. Difficult chance. Grealish. Flipped over top. It's a poor pass by Grealish. Back out to John Stones. Well, we've actually dominated possession. Dominated the game. And that's a great ball by Gundogan to Grealish here. And Jack Grealish goes to goal. It's a save by Courtois. And behind for a corner. I think we've been the better side here. I think we've been far the better side. Coming by De Bruyne. Guardiola in there. Headed away by Real Madrid. Kanji back out to Gundogan. Well, Gundogan shoots. Maybe I could have gone wide to De Bruyne there. Tried to hit it first time. Not the best of shots. And look at that throw towards Valverde. Luckily, that is the half-time whistle gone because they had the counter on us there. It's Real Madrid 0, Manchester City 0. And I think we've been the better team in that opening 45 minutes here. Gundogan. Getting under pressure. City play out again. Stones into Vardiol, both slide in, give it away. It's a poor pass. Not for the first time today from John Stones in that area. Valverde drives forward. Look at the space wide for Rodrigo. And Ruben Diaz has lost it. And he's killing Mbappe through the middle here. And killing Mbappe. And City are punished. And it's 1-0 Real Madrid. And one poor pass by John Stones has cost this Manchester City side. And just like that, Real Madrid pounce. Slack pass by John Stones in midfield. It's really poor from Stones. And that's it. They come the other way. And killing Mbappe. What a hit that is with the outside of his boot. No mistake. Edison doesn't make a crucial save, but perhaps we need. And we lost in the final, the FA Cup final, didn't we, this season? We're trophyless. We want to win the FIFA Club World Cup. Well, this could be a completely trophyless thing again, because it's a big mistake. We've done so well. We've controlled the game so well. Ah, and then another poor pass by Stones. I feel like he's got to come off Stones on a shocker in midfield. Or in defence anyway, Mbappe pulls it back across here. Chance of Bellingham, Edison saves. And I think we've got to get John Stones off now. Into Gundogan here. Pressure on Jude Bellingham. Gundogan's done brilliantly. He's played Kevin De Bruyne. And City have got runners here. And De Bruyne's being pushed and pulled. But De Bruyne's still going here. And De Bruyne plays Haaland here against Carvajal. Just can't get it in behind him. What a chance that was. Oh, Gundogan, good work. Grealish, De Bruyne. Kovacic. Into Phil Foden here. Owen twisting and turning. Going for that gap to De Bruyne. It's Kevin De Bruyne for Manchester City. Well, it could be his final goal for the club. But he goes and puts it in the top corner in the FIFA Club World Cup final. Absolutely fantastic from Kevin De Bruyne. His final goal for Manchester City it could be. And what an important one it could be in a final here. Found by Phil Foden, a bit of space. One touch, bang. Top corner by KDB. What a finish that is. And if it is his final goal, it will be remembered as a crucial goal perhaps for this City side lifting the FIFA Club World Cup and me crowning the best team in world football. Amazing from De Bruyne. Brilliant from KDB. Absolutely fantastic strike. On Mateus Nunes, aren't we? We've made big upgrades. We don't know what his future is. Vinicius Junior. Oh, past Diaz. Kanji across, Rodrigo. Oh, what a save from Edison. Wow. Bellingham. Diaz makes the challenge. Thank you, Edison. That's brilliant. Here's Danny Carvajal. Wide he goes towards Rodrigo. He's run for an offside position. Good defensive line held by City. We're the better side, I think. They've had the better chances, you could say. Well, certainly, they've had the better chances. The better team, Gundogan. Into Haaland here. Back out to Grealish. Back over to Erling here. Erling's got a bit of space for himself. Haaland from a narrow angle here. Hits it with power. Tipped to the bar by Thibaut Courtois. De Bruyne comes across to the corner. In by KDB. Instead of Josh Gobbardi out to Phil Foden. Who no can hit him from here. Foden does hit it. Locked away. We've got an injury down here. Joško Vardiol down injured. De Bruyne. What a ball. Foden on the chest. Phil Foden strike. Haaland on the rebound. Manchester City have the lead. What a ball by Kevin De Bruyne. And Erling Haaland gives City the lead in the FIFA Club World Cup final. What a goal that is. Swung in by Kevin De Bruyne. Phil Foden, what a run on the chest. He hits it. It's saved by Courtois. But it falls to Erling Haaland. The top goal scorer in this competition with 11 goals now. Right place, right time. Gambles on running in. Militao and Carvalho are nowhere near him. It's a goal. Joško Vardiol's carrying injury and he's going to have to come off here. Grealish. Well played. Gundogan. Kovacic. Nice turn into Kevin De Bruyne. And De Bruyne, that is absolutely fantastic from De Bruyne. And here is Grealish. And it's Manu Akanji bursting forward. And Akanji pulls it back here. Nearly. Oh, Akanji, that was brilliant. Carvajal. Grealish can't stop it. Vardiol's still on the field here, covering that injury. Cross comes in. Nunes down to Ederson. Out towards Nunes. There's 2 added minutes here. It might not matter. De Bruyne. De Bruyne on a ball to Phil Foden here. Foden for City. Foden to Haaland. Haaland over Courtois. 3-1. Manchester City are FIFA Club World Cup winners. Against all odds, perhaps. Against Real Madrid in the final. A team that tore us apart in the league. In the Champions League. We go on and beat them 3-1 in the final. And we have deserved it. We've been brilliant today. And look at this on the counter. Foden just lifts it. Haaland against Courtois. He's first to it. He lifts it over Thibaut Courtois with a nonchalant little touch. Fantastic finish. And Manchester City are going to be FIFA Club World Cup winners. Wow. I didn't expect it when we first started this competition. I did not expect it at all. Real Madrid had their chances. But Manchester City, we dominated possession. We've been so controlled. We've been so special at times today, the way we've played. And Pep Guardiola's side, are they back? Are Manchester City back? A 3-1 win with big reinforcements coming into this Manchester City side in the transfer window. With big players leaving, we know that, this is the last game for quite a lot of these players who have announced their departures or will announce their departure at some point or will be leaving the club. This is the rebuild. The side will be rebuilt. And this is the final phase of this particular Pep Guardiola side. This is the final element of them. The end of it, the end of an era. Their last contribution to world football, really, as a Manchester City player. Their last contribution to Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. And boy, have they made a big contribution, these players. Experienced, hard-working. They've had a dip in form. They've had a dip this year. They maybe passed it. But they are still FIFA Club World Cup winners, lifted by captain Kevin De Bruyne. His final game for Manchester City is to lift the FIFA Club World Cup, to crown City the best team in world football. And not only that, but to score important goals and put in a massive performance in the final. Thank you to Kevin De Bruyne. Thank you to Ilkay Gundogan. Thank you to so many of these players, what they've done for Manchester City. But now it is time for a reset. Now it's time to say, we can't be, nostalgic about it. They've done amazing. But it's time for change at Manchester City. Things will change. Things are going to change because a tournament doesn't negate a 38 league season. Manchester City FIFA Club World Cup winners. Look at the players celebrate the dressing room there. Congratulations to them. Absolutely spectacular performance. I am so happy. Manchester City FIFA Club World Cup winners, and thank you so much to those players. Everything they've done for Manchester City. Well, more transfer news after our FIFA Club World Cup victory. You can see that Kusunu has signed with Stuttgart from Bayer Leverkusen, which is interesting. Lautaro Martinez makes a move to RB Leipzig in a €48 million move. Man United let him go. That is a strange decision. He's their best defender. I know he's been out injured, but why would you let Lautaro Martinez go? I think he's really good. So that's a strange decision by Manchester United. It really is. Leeds have made a good sign. Hugo Duro comes in for the new Premier League side, €35 million. And other signs, Alisson has moved to Atalanta. Well, they've got Mamardashvili, haven't they now, Liverpool, so they don't need Alisson. He's allowed to let go for €65 million. They need to nearly recoup the money they had. Transfers out. Jacob Wright has gone to Sheffield United on a 12-month loan till the end of the season. And we also see Jelko Tongo move to Mainz in the Bundesliga for 12 months. And it's time for us to start talking about players who've left the club, and one is legend Kevin De Bruyne. We know that he was leaving the club at the end of the FIFA Club World Cup. We were winners. The FIFA Club World Cup is over. De Bruyne scores one of the most important goals, and his final goal as well for us. And he's moved to the MLS with San Diego. He likes it there. Apparently he goes on holiday a lot. So De Bruyne leaves Manchester City. All we can say is thank you, Kevin De Bruyne, for all you did for this club. What an amazing player he was to this Manchester City side for so many years. 10 years at the club. We did think about maybe offering Kevin De Bruyne a new contract, offering him a deal where he would stay at the club for just a little bit longer at Manchester City and be with us for a little bit longer, and maybe a 12-month deal to just play for the side a little bit more. But Kevin De Bruyne's time was up. And with Xavi Simons, we've got a new creative hub in the side alongside Phil Foden. I think we'll be absolutely fine without Kevin De Bruyne with these new signs. We might have to play a different way because I don't think Simons is the sort of player to create something out of nothing like De Bruyne did. But what a legend he has been at Manchester City. We knew he was going, but to see him at another club's colours, to see him at another club, yeah, it's tough to see because he's one of my favourite players of all time, and he's probably actually Manchester City's best player of all time. Well, the FIFA Club World Cup over, we're looking to make more moves in the transfer market once again, and we're going to go for a homegrown player who came through our youth system, who's got a massive value, but a €40 million lease clause. That made it really so difficult to turn down a chance to go and bring in Jeremy Frimpong. We said we wanted to bring in a right back. We said we wanted to bring in a left back as well, and Jeremy Frimpong to come in and play as that attacking right back. Cambiasso can play there, also at left back as well. We have really improved the full-back areas. He came through our youth system. He's been a champion in Scotland with Celtic. He's been a champion in Germany with Bayer Leverkusen. And for the value he's worth, for the quality he has, yes, there's defensive questions around his game, but I think he's going to be an amazing player. And he knows the club very well. He's come through our youth system. He's a homegrown quality player as well, which is massive for our squad. So Jeremy Frimpong joins for €40 million. Wow, what a signing. Welcome to Manchester City, Jeremy Frimpong. He brings a lot of personality as well on and off the pitch. He's certainly a player I'm really excited about in that right attacking role, which he's going to play for the side. I think he could be very key this season. I think he could actually turn out to be one of the shrewdest signs of the summer. I think for that sort of money at €40 million, you can accept defensive deficiencies in his game for that forward part of his game, which he's so good at. And with him, Cambiasso, Vardio, and say Rico Lewis as our fullbacks go into the new season, I think we are in an absolutely fantastic position. We are going to train him to be a right back. That is his position despite being a right midfielder. It's going to take 61 weeks because of his defensive problems, but look at those stats there. So quick. That's going to help us with the counter-attacks. So good at dribbling. So good going forward. He is going to cause so many problems for the opposition team. And Jeremy Frimpong will wear the number 12 shirt like he does in the Netherlands for Manchester City. Unfortunately for Mateus Nunes, with that sign of Jeremy Frimpong, he has been playing at right back, an attacking right back role. He had a really good FIFA Club World Cup, but that is not enough. Jeremy Frimpong is going to take Manchester City another level, and the Athletic report that City have told Nunes he is surplus to requirements now at Manchester City, and he is available for transfer should a club come in and try to take him away from us, which we expect will happen. He's not ever going to play in the wide areas with Doku, Savinho, Bob, and others around, and he's never going to play midfield. Pep Guardiola's never trusted him there. He's been a pretty poor signing for City, and unfortunately that sort of says the end of the spell at City for Mateus Nunes. If we find a buyer, he has been told to find himself a new club. And the episode will end with a departure of a massive legend here at Manchester City. He had a good FIFA Club World Cup. He's been at the club for 9 seasons under Pep Guardiola, and he has been a key player to everything we've achieved. But the time has come to an end with 1 year left on his contract. He's decided he wanted to leave Manchester City, and we can confirm Ederson has moved to the Saudi Pro League. He's joined Al Ittihad on a permanent deal. Wishing you all the best, Ederson. It is a big miss to see this man go. How good has he been for Manchester City over the years? Yes, he's had his moments where he's made mistakes, but I mean, talk about that Champions League performance, that final performance against Inter. If it wasn't for his performance in the Champions League final, we don't win that competition. He was absolutely unbelievable. Those 2 or 3 saves that he made within it. Manchester City lose a top goalkeeper, someone who has been at the club, like I said, for 9 years, and he's probably one of the best signings Pep Guardiola has made in his tenure at Manchester City, alongside Chiki Begiristain, of course, the sporting director working with him. Without Ederson, we wouldn't have achieved what we achieved, and he has changed the Premier League, the way goalkeepers are looked at with his ball playing ability. I think it's going to be very difficult to bring in another goalkeeper that can do what Ederson can do on the ball. But our intention is to try and bring in a goalkeeper that is a sweeper keeper, that is relatively good on the ball. I want quite a high level on the ball goalkeeper, of course. To find Ederson's level is pretty impossible. But to find someone who is an upgrade shot stopping wise, someone who's going to pull off more big saves than Ederson could do. And there he is, Ederson. He makes a €40 million move, so it's a cut price deal. He's apparently worth around €53 million at 31 years of age. He's at the end of his career. He makes a €40 million deal to Al Ittihad. 1 year left in his deal. They make it a cut price. And we end the episode with a departure, or official departure, of two legends in De Bruyne and Ilkay Gundogan, but a big signing in the return of Jeremy Frimpong. Thanks for watching. Please like the video if you haven't already. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to know all the signings, everything that happens early, consider joining the We Are City Members Club, and we'll see you guys next time.